You're listening to the Viewfinders podcast from Framerate Technologies. I'm Vaughn Juarez here with Sam McQueen, and we're talking about AI and the film industry. This is a very, very hot topic, not just in Hollywood, but all over the world. Sam, what do you think might be some of the hurdles or adoption issues that are happening in Hollywood?
I think the biggest hurdles will come from the major studios and the large companies that are involved. Right now, they seem to be hesitant to be the first company or studio to take action on AI in a meaningful way. Many of them are dipping their toes in the water, so to speak. They're using the technology and testing it out, but they seem to be very hesitant simply because I think they're concerned about any backlash they might receive from everyone else. It's clear that everyone wants to use the technology, but I don't think a lot of them are interested in being the first ones to do so.
Well, I also know anyone who knows Hollywood knows if you want to find innovation, don't look to Hollywood. Hollywood does not innovate. It typically follows trends and was very slow, as much as you would think it would be innovative on these things like technology. But when you look for innovation, you're not going to find it in the major studios. That's where the old models are still in existence. They say that whatever the adult industry does is what happens, right? And the adult industry moves quickly because it's independent and it's aggressive about getting money, and it doesn't have the same sort of limitations that the big studios do. The big studios still look at their previous year and they go, well, okay, well, let's multiply that forward and project what's going to happen next year. They do that in almost everything. Really, the technology isn't going to be fully embraced by Hollywood until it becomes something that's very easy to understand and where the risks have been taken on by everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. They're eager to jump in, but the biggest thing that they have to protect, I think, in many cases is their reputations, and they don't want to catch the backlash or any supposed or potential backlash around moving too early and bringing the scorn of anyone involved. The first real movement is going to be in the indie world, in the independent films, simply because there's less red tape, there are fewer people who need to sign off on making decisions. If you're the director, producer, writer, and one of the stars of your film, it's very easy for you to make a decision and say, this is what we're doing. I think look to the indies because that is where we will really start to see some innovation with AI and start to see some of the applications of it. Then once it's accepted in that indie world, I think the studios will eventually start jumping on.
Well, that's actually a trend we've seen anyway for the last 25 years. Some of the Sundance films, like Henry Barrial made a film called Somebody that was shot on a Canon XL1 or whatever that Canon camera was, a DV camera. Of course, no one in Hollywood would be thinking you could make anything with those cameras. You know, I don't even know if it was HD. But he made this film and the story drove it. And it ends up in Sundance and ends up creating a lot of momentum for Canon and others. And so you see where these trends usually happen is where the scrappier, less funded people looking for solutions they can afford that give them an opportunity to tell the stories they want to tell. And of course, it's always independent filmmakers. It's always independent commercial producers. It's really no shock that it's been this way for a long time. We can expect that AI technology will also be embraced in a similar fashion by those independents, like you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. This has happened in every other instance. AI will continue that trend.
Well, we'll see if we're right. I imagine we are. You've been listening to Viewfinders podcast from Framerate Technologies. Thanks for listening.